Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the CommanderSmiths at patreon.com. CommanderSmiths. Hope I missed my welcome to the CommanderSmiths there.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
It's been 10 days since we've done this. I'm surprised we still know how to do this.
I missed your voice.
This is episode 229. We are back from vacay, and then I'm about to go on vacay again. But you had a much awesomer an awesome trip. It was more unique.
It's not a competition.
There we go. It's a more unique trip. Where did you just get your butt back from? You just came back like yesterday or Sunday? When did you come back?
No, yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So it's Tuesday. It was Monday afternoon, 3, 4-ish or whatever. I got back from Italy.
Cool.
And
oh, good for you.
it was. I didn't learn a lick of Italian while I was there.
What were you supposed to?
We were mainly in. Damn it! Why did I forget it? All right, it was along Lake Garda. It was a beautiful area, kind of in the Swiss mountains, but then it's a beautiful long lake, like hours long on a ferry.
Oh, really? Like, what would it compare to?
I don't know. I didn't look
Not
at it.
Lake Superior type thing, right?
No,
I mean, that's
it's not that big.
Okay, but it's a big lake.
It's a big lake, yeah. And so, yeah, Italy was fantastic. Stereotypically, the food was great. You know, the pasta's crazy, crazy different. Like, it's fresh. Like, it's not hardened. It's made right there, and there's a clear difference. Tomatoes were amazing. Mozzarella was amazing.
You said on Discord you liked the pizza a little bit more Americanized. Yeah,
yes.
The pizza.
I think it's more like
you like the grease, the
variety better. Like, we have a lot of different style. Like, do you get different pizza? It's way better than like Pizza Hut or Domino's, like that. But like your specialty pizzas or like your deep dishes or New York style, like
all the different
that
options.
variety that you can get with different stuff. Like,
you say that, but you took a picture of you eating horse meat pizza. What is that? That was crazy.
It was an option that I had never had. So when I see that and I know I'm not going to have an opportunity, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
So it tasted like unsmoked jerky on a pizza in little shreds.
Wasn't it like purple, if I remember right? It looked like it was.
It was just a really dark.
Okay. Yeah.
Brown. It was. But yeah, that's what it was.
So everything else you're saying you liked better. The pizzas you like a little bit.
Everything else was better in Italy than America.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. No,
right.
No, that's not true. But there was definitely like the big surprise for me was like the wines. Even though like you would think like, oh, the wine in Italy, that's what they're known for. Like, I don't like white wines here because they're super sweet. There, they were just like smooth and light. And like some red wines I don't like because they're really harsh, and they just didn't have that there. Like,
interesting.
Their wines were super good.
So is that mainly what you had? Or no, you took pictures of beers and stuff there too, right?
I mostly had beer. I ordered beer, but I would sip from my wife's wine because I wanted to try the stuff too. And so, so yeah, that and like balsamic vinegar and olive oil, just like, I know it's weird to say, like, but it blows your mind. You can put olive oil and balsamic vinegar on like fruit there, or anything you'd want.
Interesting.
So like there, from where we were, like it was very touristy. So like we're not gonna get everything there, but
yeah,
but from that slight, viewpoint that I had, like there's no butter. It was all olive oil.
What?
It was just
no butter.
It was thicker and
I don't know
richer,
if I could.
And I wouldn't want butter.
Well, my question is do they have mayo? I mean, that's my biggest fear is if they didn't.
Not that I saw. Thank goodness.
I can't ever go there. I am stuck.
bring your own jug. It's airplane safe. You're fine.
Just bring a jug of mayo on an airplane, have that explode in my bag. They'd be like, "Oh, Adam was very excited."
Yeah.
You also brought home your COVID, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
That sucks.
So I went in, I think, super stressed with like gout and shingles,
So
and I was super exhausted.
You went in worried about that and came out with gout with COVID.
So I had about like 3 good days.
Oh man.
I definitely I slept when we got there. I slept for 18 hours straight.
That's crazy. That's
and
crazy.
then every day I would I would pass out for 3 hours midday. Like Kirsten couldn't wake me up at all. And so
you were like, "This is what it's like with no kids," and you just sleep for 18
that
hours.
was kind of it, but it was also because I was just fucking
Sick.
exhausted.
Yeah, and you had your shingle stuff or whatever. We went, so that cleared up though after you were there for a bit. That's why I was worried about you in the beginning. I was like, shit, he's gonna be there like all gouty and shingly. Like,
So we traveled all day Sunday. We got there, Monday night-ish, because it was long, it's like 20 hours to travel. Like, it's 10 hours to get there and just fucking a ton of trains and buses and taxis and shit like that. Marachesa. Yeah, that's what it was. That was the town. Yeah, you had to say it with an accent, or else they could not understand.
Marachesa, Baba da Boopy.
Marachesa, grazie. So I had to do it with an accent, or they could not understand. And that's not their fault; it's mine. I just know nothing about Italian.
That's awesome.
So it was a really cool region that we were in.
No, it was really hot, is what you were telling me.
Hot. Oh, the sun kicked my ass. I was in a lot of trouble there, and it's hard to tell because I was going into it sick and apparently leaving it sick, and I was just in trouble.
You had a couple good days. That's it. You're all good.
I was supposed to mute that. I'm gonna try and mute my coughs. I'm sorry.
You're all good. We all know you it's the COVID episode. It's the COVID episode. Yeah. So yeah, so that sounded like a pretty good trip. I liked all the pictures you were sending. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we took a trolley to the top of a mountain. We were on a sailboat for a day. I napped a lot. I just slept. I'm sorry.
That was your vacation, was just sleeping. So next time what you're saying is
next time
you're going to go to Italy, but then just actually rent a hotel and sleep, or just have the parents take the kids for a week, and then you're
just a weekend. Just go sleep. I think that's a great idea. It'll save a ton of money.
Well, I tried to hold the ship down, but then I actually went out of town for a couple days, and for a while there, the Discord was it was like a wasteland. There was nothing going on because we were gone, and like it was weird though. It took me a while to catch up with everything because there was like 50 some messages on each channel of the Discord, and I was
it wasn't a wasteland.
Yeah, it wasn't at all. Yeah, it was. But yeah, so I was gone, and
glad to know they don't need us.
Right, you guys just move on without us. Well, I guess what we should talk about what we're going to be doing today on this special Tuesday episode. I don't know, have we done a Tuesday? We've probably done a Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, we were at the first 2 years. We'd be like, hey, let's record. Well, let's record Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but not live.
Yeah. So, what do we have in store for? Oh, I'm gonna do it here. Larry's coughing. What we're doing today? We have Stump the Smith Savant. We have the added Displacer Kitten in Xander's Lounge. So we have the 2-card giveaway. I announced the person wrong because I guess I hadn't marked down one of the people. We'd already done the Stump the Smith Savant, and you guessed that one. So the next on the list was actually Captain Dreadful. And a little side note, like for future, I don't want to say this, foreshadowing. If you don't get stumped this week, the next stumper, because I'm not going to be going live again, because side note again, we will not have the cast next week because I'm going to be out of town and it's just too much crammed into this week. We wouldn't be able to record and get that sent out. Last time when then
also when you get back, then we're going to jam in two in that 1 week, Monday and Friday. So
yeah,
it's just going to be really jam packed. for a little bit.
Yeah, there'll still be like 4 episodes this month. They're just kind of in weird spots. So it's not the normal Mondays. But because of that, I won't have time to draw. And so the next stumper will actually be Mr. Combo number 5. So we will actually have our first other content creator that will be the next stumper. So if Captain Dreadful doesn't stump you this week, Combo will have a chance for 2 cards in a couple weeks. So and then what else we got? Oh, so the meat and potatoes. No, the beer and pizza of this episode is I dealt with a couple things recently playing, and it's more of, I think we've talked about it before, but we're gonna kind of break it down a little bit more. But it's how to deal with like misplays in Commander, how to move on, like some tips and stuff like that. Because the thing is, I think for me personally, misplays are the thing that bug me the most. I don't care necessarily about winning. If I can get a win in Ignite, that's awesome for me. If we're doing a big, day game Magic, if we're playing one game that night, as long as my deck does its thing, it's fine. But misplays are one of the hardest things for me after I'm done playing to move on from. It bugs the crap out of me because I get mad at myself. And so we're going to kind of go just have an open discussion, and we got chat here going on here. So you guys can also chime in as well. So we're just going to kind of go through that, and then we'll finish up with Staple Versus. What do we have for Staple Versus this week?
Staple Versus is going to be Ice-Fang Coatl versus Baleful Strix.
So this should be a good one. They're pretty similar, but there's some differences.
They're different enough, I'd say.
There's some differences with those two. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward episode. Again, Lowery's dealing with COVID, so we just kind of want to burn through this. And the fact that this has to be a turnaround. The audio version might come out on Wednesday, might come out tomorrow, might come out on Thursday. Depends on how this episode goes. So,
just depends.
Yeah. So I don't think we're not doing. What did you say? What is the drunks are not drunks are us? What is the name that you called it? Only drunks.
Only drunks.
Yeah, we're not doing only drunks today because
no donations.
Yeah, no donations, no jelly beans. You can donate, but we're not doing any jelly beans and all that stuff. But we'll do that when we get back from vacation.
Run shy. I will blind guess that.
Or
alter the brood.
Alter, yeah.
I will.
It'd be funny if
for
that's
combo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am drinking. I am having that last of the bit of whiskey for my birthday for my brother. Heaven's Door double barrel whiskey, right there. And I just finished that off. So just having that tonight.
Knocking on heaven's
exactly.
door.
So that should be a good episode. But let's get kind of into things right away. I don't want to dilly dally too much. I don't think. Whoa! Backing it up. We broke the fucking record. We broke the fucking record again, guys.
Just kidding. We are totally gonna dilly dally now.
Now we're gonna dilly dally. We broke the record. I didn't think we were gonna do it again this year. I honestly, when we broke it the last time, it was like, well, it was a huge spike. There's no way we're gonna catch that until maybe later in the year. We broke it. I mean, we broke it we squeaked by it, but we broke
it. A little bit.
31 downloads. Got it. 31 downloads beat the other record. But it got it.
You
so
motherfuckers get a box.
Yeah.
Patrons now.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we're going to be doing battle boxes. We're not 100% sure on it, but I think we're going to be doing the Commander Legends 2 set boosters. Did we decide? I don't know. One of the two.
Yeah, we haven't decided what style, but Commander Legends 2 of some sort.
Commander Legends 2. And what do you think we do for the Twitter giveaway? We didn't discuss this ahead of time. Is there something or do we think about that later?
Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll post it.
So there'll also be a Twitter giveaway as well. We'll have it this whole month. So by the end of the month, we'll have the Twitter giveaway. And then the battle boxes will be next month for the giveaway for patrons that are $5 or more. So thank you guys so much again, because the only reason that it keeps doing it is because of you guys. We don't really promote ourselves besides because whatever we put on Twitter, holy shit, that was a long message.
What the fuck is that?
Somebody put a long message. We can't even read the whole thing. But it's because of you guys. Okay. Took my son to the park. We got home. We found this goldfish dead. Which is a tough situation, parent. How do you explain autoerotic?
I don't know if we want to finish that.
What?
Who wrote that?
It says optimistically. Is it cynical? Oh, cynical. I've never seen that person on there before.
All right. Well, Thank you for introducing yourself, sir. Or ma'am.
I'm glad I read that out loud too. So at least I don't.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Normally we don't stop for.
Well, it was a long
those.
one. Oh yeah, but it's just like I had to see what the hell it was. Okay, so thank you guys again. It is you guys are the reason that it keeps expanding because we, like you said, we put it out to Twitter, nothing happens there. It's really you guys just keep listening, keep watching, keep telling your friends and all that stuff. So we want to say thank you guys, and that's why we'll give these giveaways here. So let's get into the actual episode here. You guys can become a patron. Like we have another new patron this week. Jacob Anson, I think is what it is.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
You can become a patron just like Jacob. Thank you, Jacob, for becoming a patron. You can donate $1 or more to Patreon, and that gets you into the Discord, gets you chatting, gets you playing games. I know I keep saying we're going to be playing a lot more games, but then vacations have come in. We are going to be doing a lot more live games where it's basically just patrons and us, and so that gets you in to play games with us and everything. $5 or more gets you proxies each month. If you get higher in those tiers, you can get foil proxies, which are pretty fucking sweet. So that is the financial way to support the show. You can also financially support the show by checking us out live here on YouTube and donating and making us do tricks and stuff like that. You know, we can do jelly beans and shots, just not this week. But most of the time, you guys can donate that way. So if you don't want to donate a monthly thing, you can just jump on the live feed and just donate there and make us do something fun. So at some point, we will have Malort as our drink or signature shot, but we got to get that figured out still. At some point, we'll have that. But that is also the free way to support the show. If you don't want to donate any money there or make us do tricks, I don't know why I say tricks, like we're dance.
Silly rap, but
dance. You just go on YouTube, subscribe there. We are getting close to that 1,000 subscriber goal, so that's coming up. We're going to probably be doing a push for that probably towards the end of the summer because we're getting really close. But just subscribe. And then you can actually watch some videos because we have a lot of cool videos that go on weekly. Like our twice a week curated MTG, and this week's curated. Do you remember what your curated was? Because you did it before you left.
no, I made this like 2 weeks ago.
It was the one that you thought that was not as good, and it
It's
actually
like the
did
worst
really good.
card I've ever curated,
It's
and it's doing quite well.
It
It's
is.
not the best ever on YouTube or anything, but it's the best TikTok one.
yeah, that one.
It's a green card.
Yeah, it's isn't it tap one? You tap two token or two creatures to draw a card. You skip your draw step or something like that.
Symbiotic deployment. It's 2 and a green enchantment. Skip your draw step. You can pay 1 and tap 2 untapped creatures you control to draw a card.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. If
I-
you're playing a token,
I
deck.
think it's interesting and I
Yeah.
think it's cool, but that skipping the draw step part is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after a wrath, like
Then you're like
it
screwed.
definitely has a niche spot.
Yeah.
So
But it got a lot of, maybe you just need to do the crappy ones. And then you'll get the.
I've done plenty of crappy ones, but I like them.
Yeah.
And I like this one, but this one's like probably bad.
Yeah.
Like it's a late game card. I don't think it's something you play early game.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. But it's like, okay, I got a ton of creatures, but I'm running out of stuff. Like maybe I just tap my little crappers and then drop it 1, tap 2, tap 2, tap 2, draw 3 cards. And
Yeah.
like,
The
maybe that's
suckiest thing would
I don't
be you casting that and it's on the stack and somebody goes, well, somehow instant Wrath of God kills all your creatures. And then you're just like, well, guess I'm not doing anything the rest of this game, guys. But yeah, check those out. The biggest thing with curated MTG is watch those, give them a like. If you watch them all the way through and watch it again, maybe you guys can make those things go viral. Any of those shorts can go viral by you guys. Just half of our subscribers can make them go viral. So we also have proxy time. I did not do this. Those are only going to be twice a month at this point because I do multiple proxies. But the last one, what the fuck was it? Oh, I think it was the Lord of the... No. Was it the Lord of the Rings guy? You know, I have all my foil things right
last
here.
post, I think you did like Reanimate and Phyrexian Arena.
You are correct. Yes, Reanimate and Phyrexian Arena. Those turned out pretty
Alex.
sweet. Is Alex going to sleep? Oh, good night, Alex. He said he was going to be in for a little bit.
He
He's gonna be-
basically made post just so that he could say he was leaving. So appreciate you.
So yeah, proxy time. Those are on Sundays, typically at 9 o'clock. If I'm not doing proxy time, summer's all up in the air. So just so you guys know that, like, summer at this point, we're not on a regular schedule. We're gonna try to as best we can, but we aren't always gonna hit those marks. But typically on a normal schedule, 9 o'clock, something is happening on Sundays. I think that's about it. We do have some games to talk about. We got battle
next week.
boxes.
I'll try and do like a day or
Spotlight.
two of live streaming, whatever. Spotlight,
Switcheroo. Yeah. So those are, we got lots of stuff on YouTube. So very least, all you guys could do is jump on YouTube and you'll get tons of content all week long. So just check that out. Another way you guys can follow us is to go on Twitter. We are one away from a third of what we have on YouTube, but 300 followers on Twitter. Just funny because that's our void. But that's where we post everything that we do. Post it there on Twitter. You can also do the polls and stuff like that there. Or you can direct message us there. And then you can also direct message us by Gmail, CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. And that is where you can send the suggestions for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card. Lowery is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, it'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, will hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He'll get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. He'll get up to 3 clues. If he can get all 3, get to what the card does, like everything about the card, but what the card name is, he will get the initials of the card. If he can get to that point with an extra clue, he'll get a bonus clue to help him with the initials. The card has to be at least 5,000 EDH Rectex. This week's Stumper is Captain Dreadful. And what else do we have with this? The giveaway again was Xander's Lounge and Displacer Kitten. The Xander's Lounge is the showcase one, not the full art one. It's the showcase one. I have eliminated the chat on YouTube, so Lowery can't see that. So chat can play along on the side. I will respond to you guys if you're on the right track or if you're completely wrong. Well, I won't always respond to the wrong ones, but when you're on track, I'll let you guys know. So keep those guesses coming. And here we go. Beauty appears in strange places for those with eyes to see it.
Repeat.
Beauty appears in strange places for those with eyes to see it.
All right. So unlikely a black card, unlikely to be a red card. So it's probably going to be in a blue, green, or white. Is it blue, green, or white color identity?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
One wrong.
It doesn't. So it's black or red. What the fuck? I guess it could be colorless. Could be colorless. Oof. Okay. Well, let's go with first clue, please.
The art features a flourishing low-lying wetland with many floating lotus. The art features a flourishing low-lying wetland with many floating lotus.
All right, so likely colorless, likely a land, but it could be artifact. All right, well, is it colorless?
You mean like color identity?
Yeah, is it colorless color identity?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Let's see. Do we got anybody on the chat getting it? Renshai has a little bit going the right way.
So it's not green, blue, or white.
And it's
color identity. It's not colorless.
It's not colorless identity either.
So it has to be red or black. What the fuck? Oh, I'm super lost. Okay. Can I hear the flavor text again, please?
The flavor text. Beauty appears in strange places for those with eyes to see it.
All right. So I'd much likely think it's black then, but let's try and shift a little bit so that I can. All right. So it's low-laying.
The art features a flourishing low-lying wetland with many floating lotus.
All right, so like that could be black. I still doubt it's red. Like that doesn't jive at all. All right, can I get a second clue, please?
The text features a negative upon entering, a constant, and a color choice. The text features a negative upon entering, a constant, and a color choice.
What the fuck?
Ramsey, he guesses lightning bolt every single time. He just keeps going.
He's gonna get one of these
Is it lightning bolt? Is it lightning bolt?
one of these times. All right, so I have a feeling.
I have
one of
a
those
feeling.
Stupid fucking thriving lands from Jumpstart. It's negative, constant, and a choice.
The text features a negative upon entering, a constant, and a color choice.
A color choice. Yeah, that really fucking makes me feel. All right, is it a land?
Hello, boobies.
Does it start with thriving?
Hello, boobies.
Motherfucker.
Renshai got it finally. Let's start with thriving.
God
Hey,
damn
you
it.
can say everything about the card and you get a bonus like clue with it to get you the initials and all that, and you get a bonus thing.
Fucking hate this game sometimes. All right. All right. ETB's tapped. Does it ETB tapped?
Hello, boobies.
The constant is it creates a black mana,
Hello, boobies.
and then when it enters the battlefield, you get to choose a color, and then it would also create that color if you wish.
Hello, boobies.
The initials are TM.
Thriving Marsh.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
That's 3 wrong.
Yep.
All right.
But I can give you a bonus clue because you still have a clue. You want your bonus
call.
clue that helps
Yeah,
with the...
yeah. I'll
Okay.
take a fucking bonus.
So, to give you an idea, I gave you clues. I did this last time too, and I forgot to tell you that I did this. In the first clue, when I'm describing it, flourishing is also known as thriving. Low-lying wetland is also known as something that starts with M. It's similar.
Low-lying what?
A low-lying wetland.
What? That's not fucking March. Starts with TM? Thriving M?
TM.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get punished here. This is number one, I should know my wetlands. Come on. Okay, it's not marsh. It's, let's start thinking of low-lying wetlands. It's not, can't be a swamp. Shit. Number one, I'm not drinking. Number two, I have COVID.
I have
So-
COVID. I have COVID brain right now.
I don't know if I have COVID brain.
No, not ATM, Renshai.
Thriving. God.
The art features a flourishing low-lying wetland with many floating lotus. flourishing, is thriving. Low-lying wetland is a... I didn't know if you would, like, that's the hard part, is even giving this bonus stuff. It's like, I don't know what thing you're going to get stumped on, you know, what part of it.
Yeah.
Because if I would have known, I thought you actually might not have remembered the beginning, but they all are thriving things.
Yeah, they're all thriving. And, so I have 3 wrong.
Yep. So you have 2 more guesses. You can start guessing.
I wonder. I mean, if it's something stupid like marshland, I'm gonna be. Is it thriving marshland? Marshland, like one word.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
I'm at 5. At least moving forward. Low-lying wetland with a lotuses. That part doesn't matter. That's
low-lying wetland.
The lotuses are representing like the any color type thing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure there's lotuses in all those cards. There's stupid. Stop playing with them.
It is in 20,000 EDH rec decks.
Yeah, I know. They're just bad.
Oh man, I wanted this last one to be a big giveaway. Oh, wait, we're at our 3rd week. No, I think this is the 2nd week of the double.
I don't have much of an idea.
I don't know how I can help you move on.
I might just give it.
Tapping out.
Yeah, I'm tapping out.
Congratulations, Captain Dreadful.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
I think he's won from us before too. If I told you the opposite of less,
Morris.
well, more, but it's not spelled the same.
M-O-O-R?
Yeah.
I
Thriving
wouldn't have gotten
more. Yeah. That was...
Nice. I wouldn't have gotten there.
Congratulations, Captain Dreadful. You win the prizes. Actually, they are right here. So this goes to
nice.
Captain Dreadful. So next week, and actually, it's a foil Xander's Lounge. Still in the little packaging there. And then the Displacer Kitten. So congratulations. You guys can also send your suggestions in. Send it to our email, CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. And you get a chance to win some cards and stump Mr. Lowery. I know what next week's is going to be. It's going to be, I know what the name... Wait.
All right.
This
So don't get punished again. Thriving
it's
Bluff.
time for everyone's
Thriving
favorite
Isle.
game show.
I know what it is. I just don't know the name. Thriving Grove and Thriving More. I've now looked them up. I have proof that I've looked them up. That doesn't necessarily mean that I will
Retain
get,
that
you
information.
only have 3 to go from here on.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, good job.
Excuse me. All right. All right. So now on to the main topic. I guess hit your AJ button.
Oh.
I don't want relationship. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang bang bang.
Hey AJ.
There you go, AJ. All right. So what do we got going on here? We are going to talk about misplays. They happen. They happen in almost every single game. Can you think of one game that you've played where not one person had a misplay in a game? It's a pretty common thing.
No, it happens all the time.
Yeah. So
Happens in every game. Happens in life.
yep,
Everything.
So
We constantly make mistakes. We're just lucky that we get things right sometimes.
so
That's
I
my
guess
thought.
the idea behind this whole thing was how, like, the part that got me, and this is why I text you and I was like, dude, we got to do some kind of episode with misplays, because it's eating me up that I fucked up, and I don't like that. It's like, the game is done. Like, there's nothing, and it doesn't matter who won or lost with it. Why is it bugging me so much? So what I kind of was thinking is more of, this is just like an open-ended thing where we're just talking about how to prevent most misplays or help with misplays is how I was thinking it, and maybe to help move on and not let it eat you up as much. Because I think, to be honest with you,
Two-parter.
but yeah, well, besides like, you know, if you're playing with not as fun people, that can be one of the harder things. But like, this is probably the thing that eats me up the most with like Commander now these days, which is a good thing to have. You know, I remember getting mad, and we've talked about that before, where I get done and I was just like, God, that fucking sucked. Like this and this, and the person was doing this. And now it's not on the person, it's more on like, I fucked this up, or, you know, and like, why did I do this dumb move? Why didn't I do this? And why did I do that? So my thought was we just kind of go through some scenarios of like when this happens, like when is a common thing to happen, and then just kind of maybe some suggestions of how to get past that or help with all that stuff. So what are your thoughts on misplays? How does it affect you when you're playing a game? Because I know.
Well, let's maybe talk more about, or like let's focus on the like when it happens for right now.
Yeah,
I guess. So for me, I notice that I misplay more when I'm trying to play fast.
That's my biggest.
And then the other one is when I'm just not paying attention, like having a conversation or getting up to go have food, and I'm just not paying attention to the board. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, that came down. Like, those are the two main big ones for me, at least. What about you?
My biggest one is is the first one you said, playing too fast. That especially happens in my examples that I will have in a little bit. Happens towards end of game stuff, because I feel like my turn might be going long because I'm, you know, trying to wrap this up, or, you know, things are happening, and I'll move things too fast. The other thing is
Sure.
maybe not realizing what is all on the battlefield. You know, like it's like there's so many things that are out there. You think you know what every card does, and then just assuming that, you know, whatever. That card, I'm fine. I can get beyond that or whatever, and then it ends up mattering. You know, those are the misplays that I typically have. I guess some of the other ones that do come in are not properly planning my mana out when I'm casting a spell to set up for the next spell to come out. You know, it's like, or these are little misplays, not that necessarily change the game, but you kick yourself for it, where it's, you have a card that interacts with another card in your hand, and you play the other card first that has no interaction with the first card. So now let's say it's a card that's like
sequencing.
Yeah, sequencing. That doesn't happen to me as often, but when it does happen, I get mad at myself because I'm like, fuck, I just missed a draw because it was waiting for this card to come in, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. So it's more of that. And I feel like sequencing is also a similar thing with the land, because if you're not planning it out and you're just like, well, I'm going to tap this, this, and this, and that, and you're not like, well, I'm going to leave my multicolor lands up, my any color lands up. Like that's now I'm like, basics get done first. Okay. Cause those are one color. Now we go to the lands that are two. Now we go to the lands that are any color I want. Those are the things that, you know, I see that happen all the time with everybody. It's like, fuck, I didn't leave myself a white, you know, a plains open, and now I can't do the optimal thing in my hand. So I think that's one of the bigger ones I see with other people doing. So
I think when you're talking about sequencing, that's two things. That's familiarity with the game and familiarity with your deck. Familiarity with your deck is kind of on you. Like learning how your deck works. There is a ton of pieces that fit together. Like we talk about this constantly, and where you said it's not as big of a deal anymore because you hold on to your decks for a long time and you learn them and you get to know them and you get to know what you like about them, take out. Like if you hold on to your decks for a long time and you know it, that's less likely to happen. Right. And so just learning your decks, I think, will help anybody out there for that. Land wise is a mechanics of the game. And just learning that that is wrong. If you're doing that, you're going, shit, I need to do that, or can I take that back? Or that's something that you need to learn about the game, that you need to like, that's just a part and progression of it. And sometimes it is about playing fast. When you're just going, okay, I want to play this, I tapped my lands wrong. I wasn't, I had it planned out, but I didn't. And that comes out with like comfortability of like conversations with the people that you're playing with. Like,
right.
As long as you haven't drawn cards,
Right.
I'm fine with takebacks on sequencing and land tapping, because no information has changed other than you're playing too fast or you kind of so me personally, I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, and
but some people do.
I will say that one I do a little bit and it might be more of our play group kind of thing, like you're saying. I'll tap the land, and then as I'm like putting the card down, I'm like, well, actually, I want these lands this way. Like kind of what you're saying. Like nothing has changed. I'm just like, wait a sec. I just tapped the land to show you that I'm playing something. Yeah. But what I really mean is I wanted these basics over here and this. And sometimes I'll reorganize
on
that.
A technicality point of the game, that doesn't matter, because spells go on the stack. They need to resolve. Stuff needs to happen. And if nothing's happened, the spell hasn't, you could still rearrange your lands and nobody should be complaining about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. And so like, and again, my joke at the beginning, only good things happen every once in a while. Like things go right sometimes, and otherwise everything is going wrong. Like honestly, this, again, I've said this multiple times, like this is the hardest game ever. Like it's going to happen. It will happen. There just isn't.
Right.
I understand Cole in the comments is saying that he's amazing at it, and he's a very smart man.
He's not sarcastic at all.
He's made mistakes. I've played with him. I've seen it.
Yeah, he's just a mistake.
With your deck, with like Teysa, he's doing a lot of complicated sequences, and he's doing a lot of things. And then sometimes he's like, "Oh, I didn't do that right." And then sometimes it's like, yeah, it's going. And then sometimes like, well, you're about to kill us, so we're going to say no. Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Like, and that it might depend on that part of the game too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I guess it depends.
And he doesn't know your decks. He's played them a few times at this point, but again, sequencing matters and knowing the deck matters. And he didn't build the deck, and so like, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And so like, and I'm not saying this stuff from a place of I'm perfect either. Understand that that's not what's going on. I do it constantly, every game. One thing I really do my best to not let it bother me now, though. And that again,
that's better than what that's a thing that, and that's what we'll get into in the second kind of part of this is how to not let it bother you. I guess what I wanted to do here is now at this point kind of give, for the things we talked about, some of the solutions you can kind of help yourself with those easier ones, the easier misplays.
I think going with like I have problems with playing fast, but I don't have a problem with it. Like I just understand that's what I'm going to do. One thing that I feel bad about with you and Trombley is we give you shit.
Yeah,
for taking longer turns.
It does get in the head a little bit,
that I can see like being frustrating for you guys, and it is a joke. But and for anybody out there, like if that bothers you, understand, you, even though people are joking, you can say, hey, that bothers me. Well, and if it does,
it's fine.
People should respect that. See, like you're like, well, it's fine, but is it?
Well,
like that's the thing.
Well, no, because normally when that's happening, it typically means that I'm trying to work out either saving myself or trying to, like, normally it's winning the game. When I'm sitting there and taking what we call a Trombley turn or an Adam turn, and Trombley does it too, he'll play with my decks lately. That's a lot of my stuff is a lot. Trombley's actually on right now. Do I take long turns? Hey, what's up, buddy?
No, so it's again, Trombley doesn't have any of his own decks right now. He's playing
Playing
your
with
decks.
my
He
decks.
doesn't know your decks. That's going to create a longer turn.
But
and
I
that's
think
okay.
I think
And so
Trombley and I have a similar where it's this one turn, boom, all these things, these spokes on a wheel working together. These all have to work, and then it all happens. But I have to make sure that it works. And Trombley does that, I think. And I do that too, where I'm trying to work it out in my head before playing it and making sure that I have it right. And sometimes there's just so much going on that it's hard to kind of keep track of. And that's where the mistakes can come in. And that's why we have the longer turns, because we're trying to make it happen without like working it out on the table. I know that Cole had to help me one time. All of us had to figure out, there were so many treasure triggers. This was the first time I met Cole at number 2's house, number 2. And I forget, I think Trombley was in it on that game. And it was me, Cole, Trombley, and one of other number 2's buddies, Jake or something.
Okay.
And, or maybe it was, I don't know, whatever. There were so many triggers of multi-whatever that we all had to kind of work it out at the table. Because it was a game winner, but there was so much happening. And that's the part where, I don't know, I'm getting longer-winded with this, but that's the long-term
Well,
things
you're
that I
explaining
typically...
long plays.
Yeah,
like,
and that's typically...
and that does happen. Like, there's going to be some big plays because there's a lot going on the field. I think being open in the game helps a ton. Like, if not even if somebody's going like, hey, does somebody have, do they have flyers? Or, if somebody's going to attack you with a flyer, you can just go, I have a flyer that can block that. And they
Right.
Go, oh, I missed that. Like, that's, to me, again, that's fine. Because number one, that
unless you're trying to trick them and be like, I'm going to kill that motherfucker. No, just kidding.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
no.
Renshai's made a couple of comments here, but he's kind of going like, my misplays are just there to even the playing field. That's kind of true. It's a mentality to be like, it's okay not to just like have people make the worst play and they just missed it. Because if they're just missing stuff, that's because there's a lot of shit going on. Or if you're looking to teach them a lesson of like, get off your fucking phone. You can do that too.
Right. Exactly.
But like,
or you're going to get a piece of pizza, Lowery. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no, you can fucking, and if I just come back and expect everything to be the same, that's silly of me. But that's on me. But I can also go like, generally I come back and be like, did anything crazy happen?
Right.
And no, you're fine. Then I'll catch up. But if it's like, if a fucking great henge came down or somebody to Fury protection out of there or a cyclonic,
and then you're attacking them. Yeah. What?
Yeah,
they're not even there.
Like, all right, I guess.
Well, one thing I did put, it kind of goes along with what you're saying, is one of the solutions can be, if there's so much board state or you're not familiar with so many cards on there, asking, let's say you're attacking with a flyer and you're like, okay, I'm going to attack Lowery here. Well, really quick, Lowery, do you have anything that is obvious on the board that can block my flyer? Like, do you have a flyer? And then you might be like, I don't have a flyer out, but this land can become a flyer. Okay. Yeah. Like that sometimes what I'll do is if I can't.
And I don't think you have to explain tricks.
Right.
But if it's in plain sight, like, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to explain anything in your hand. Like, I got to fucking fun.
Well, what? Yeah. Do you have a counter spell? So if I cast this spell, you're going to counter it. And like, does anybody have that out on the in their hands? Yeah. No, I mean, not like that, but
that's just like a style of play group. When you don't know people, don't expect that. Don't, if your play group is much more cutthroat, you're not going to be able to get away with that. Like,
yeah,
you kind of need to feel
the room,
what's going on with your group and who you're playing with, and understand what's that is all about. But
yeah. And then
I guess what I am, and probably Adam, with our play group, we are suggesting to be a little bit more chill.
Chill the fuck
because
out.
I think number one, that's going to help you not be so frustrated.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that's something that we'll talk about as well. But
well, okay. I mean, no, I just have a few things like what we've been saying the whole time is take your time. Don't even if people are giving you shit, take your time.
Yeah.
I mean, don't take.
I do think if it does annoy you, if there's something that somebody does, talk with them about it.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like, hey, that kind of, that puts some stress on me, or give reasons and stuff like that.
Ramsey actually put out a good point on the chat there. He said, I see it as a learning moment. Any misplay, if someone sees it, I would let them tell me and like explain the misplay and all that stuff. So that is also, I do that sometimes where I'll help out and be like, here's what
that's
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's what I was gonna say. That's just it's another, especially with new players. Like new players make the like misplays that aren't even like, they're just learning plays, misplays. And so that's a good teaching moment. Let them make that mistake so they learn it and don't necessarily make it again. I also put on here, like, and I don't know if a lot of people do this, especially if your group is very chatty and all that stuff, but plan things out before your turn starts. Like if you're worried about how long your turn is or what you're going to do, you have this plan. Like, okay, on my turn, if nothing major changes, I'm going to do this, this, and that. And, that changes when you draw a card. It changes how you're going to play things. But for the most part, have an idea. And that's what I typically do is after I play my card, play my turn, as soon as I'm done with my turn, I'm already kind of thinking, okay, on my turn, I'll have enough to do this. And really, if I do this and this and that, and it changes as it goes along, but really have an idea, a basic idea of what you're doing. Don't just go, all right, I said go to you, and now I'm just going to go mind blank and just sit there and wait until it's your next turn. Have an idea, plan things out a little bit. We'll make, it'll help out things quite a bit. And then the last thing, I don't know, this is something new that, not new, but kind of new, is like reminder things. Like if you need a reminder of, that's why we had the digi tokens. It was kind of, it's a bit, but it's the like, did you pay 2? Did you do this? But even, we've talked about the tricks of turning like if you need to draw 2 cards at the beginning of your turn because of a card that's doing that, or looking at the top 3, with Sylvan Library, drawing those 3 and then whatever, turn them sideways to let you know, or even those cards that we've been writing on, the ones with the markers, write yourself a note like to, this is what I want to do, to remind yourself this. You can hide it, flip it upside down if you don't want the other players to see, but write something down for
in the graveyard.
Right. So
like, what's there?
But I mean, that I haven't done that before, but that was something that came to mind to like help yourself out. Like now that you have these cards you can get from Etsy, they're little marker cards. You see them everywhere for people that are streamers at this point that do the games on stream. They're just dry erase cards that you can write whatever on them. Use those to remind yourself of what you want to do next.
I agree.
That'll help with that. Is there anything else you wanted on that stuff? Because then, what do I have? I said, what happens after it happens? What do you do? How do you get over it? That's the part I have trouble with. Because I get pissed.
Trombley's is it changes from whenever somebody offended him the most recently. And that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So
that's why I always try to be.
Cole's
I always
plan is to not have a plan. Like our play group is great,
just all over. My plan always with Trombley in the game is to make sure that I'm not the last person to do something to Trombley, because then when it gets to before his turn, because then if I'm the last person to do something, if I'm the right after him, I fuck with him, and then he'll be mad at me. But then by the time somebody else does it, then I'm all good, because by the time he gets to his turn, his attention has changed.
But now I know if you think you can fuck with him, and I was going to, I will now not fuck with him, so that he targets you.
Stays at the target.
Yeah, I think that's the most logical thing at this point.
Okay, so what I wanted to get into is the 2 examples that kind of triggered this idea. I mentioned the one from a couple weeks ago. I was at number 2's house, and I was at the end of the game, and I remember telling you about this, but it was basically I had the game won. I ended up being like, well, I'm going to optimize my turn even more by playing a card that I draw whatever, tapping my lands and all this stuff. All the while, we all knew he had elephant grass out, and I knew it before the turn started that he had it.
Mm-hmm.
Drew a bunch of cards, played a card for free because it was Rishkar's expertise, so I played a card for free, didn't really change anything. When all I had to do was just attack with the creatures I had, and I had the game won. We played it out that I still did my thing, and we didn't we both had forgotten about elephant grass until after the turn, after we were packing stuff up. At that point, I was like, well, I already started packing my stuff up. You win the game. Like, I don't care. But then it bugged me that it came down to that it shouldn't have ever come down to that. And I made a huge misplay of kind of, people are fucking shooting off fireworks. What the hell, guys? It's not July 4th anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, it's the 5th. It's the week after. It's kind of like your birthday. You get the birthday and
right.
then everybody celebrates it after. That's that's what other people do.
So it wasn't that I didn't win. It was more of the bonehead plays, because there was multiples into that last turn. One that we both had missed, whatever, and then it had to end like that. It was just like scoop and whatever, we're done. But I don't know why it bugged me so much. It was a thing that bugged me into the next day, where it's just like, why the fuck did I do that? And then the more recent one was playing with a couple of guys from the Discord. Played with Renshai, with Ted and Jake last week. We didn't stream it. It was just a for fun whatever. Not that streaming is not for fun, but it was just the last second whatever.
Just work. Yeah,
and Akiri went off again, was doing her thing, and I completely had control of this whole game, and I wiped out 2 players, and I'm coming after Renshai, and he had mechanized production. Oh, remember when we did our episode on Teferi's Protection? This is about to come in here. So I had 20 plus treasures. Actually, I think I had like 26 treasures. I had 12 clues. I had endless amounts of mana and just about to win, but I had to say go because I killed 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
And he had blue mixed in. So instead I go, well, I'm going to Teferi's Protection just so because he was about to start his turn. And then I was like, well, instead of you trying to waste your time and try to figure out how to kill me, I'm going to Teferi's Protection. You know what that fucking did? It made it so he just went and got mechanized production, had his 8 tokens, and he won the game right there. So that was just like, so here's what bugged me, though.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because he had 8.
Is that end of turn?
His is beginning of turn. So my Teferi's Protection, I played it before his turn was starting. He was actually just about to start, and I was like, well, before you untap your mana, I'm going to Teferi's Protection so you don't have to waste your time. Like, I didn't want him to waste 5-10 minutes. I had complete control. Like, I had Heroic Intervention, I had Teferi's Protection, I already used my Deflecting Swat, I think, and I had one more whatever. Like, I could have just let him play it out, but I was like, well, let's not waste 10 minutes of time, because I was already wasting time by making treasures, making clues, going off.
So this is another thing. I mean, from what I'm hearing, did you get another turn?
No.
Well, you should have.
Why?
Unless he played it at the end of your turn.
No, so
because it's a trigger. It's at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then, if you control 8 or more artifacts,
so
with
he
the
did
same name as one another,
he did it. He did it because what I did is he blocked with it, and then he used the goblin that brings an artifact from his graveyard back. He brought his Brea back, which made 4 more tokens before his turn even started. So then he had 8 to start the turn.
But was it in play?
Yeah. Everything was. It was all legit. It was all good.
Okay.
But so what got me, and here's the part where I backtracked a little bit, and because the Teferi's Protection.
I see that, Renshai.
Yeah, so you already had it out. So where it got me pissed at myself was I had 26 treasures out and 12 clues.
Mm-hmm.
So when he goes, oh, I'm just going to make 8 of these and I'm going to win the game, I went, oh, good job, good game. And then after we started starting to pack stuff up, I was like, well, I mean, I got these 26 treasures and 12 whatever. I can draw up to 12 cards at this point. I was like, whatever, you just win. And so then I just did the whole I started doing the top cards. The second card was I wrote it down. Oh, Heliod's Intervention. So I was just like, fuck. Like, why did I just go, never mind, I'm not going to play it out? Like, because what happened there was my turns were already long, and I felt like I was already bugging people. And so then I was just like, nope, I'm done. I concede, I'm done, whatever. But then as I thought about it more, once I did Teferi's Protection, I no longer had anything that was in play. So I couldn't do anything. You know, I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Renshai won. Because then it just bugged me that why did I feel like I was bugging people and I had to fast track this? Why not play it out and see? Because that's the fun part is back against the wall, you win the game. So those are two things where it's like these were end of the game things, and then that's I think why it stuck with me more is because it was just like, why did I rush? Why did I go, push it and just be like, whatever. Why not play it?
That second one does seem like a fast play mistake, and then just not worrying. Like at that time,
I was trying to
what
save.
I'm hearing a little bit here is you're saying you're because they're both situations at the end of the game where you're going, we missed this, you win the game, it's okay, and then later it's bothering you. And so that right there, it's a little bit different than like what we've talked about already. It's something that you're maybe it's also considered like fast play or trying not to be like combative or trying to create friction and just trying to smooth it over and be like, it's fine, it doesn't matter. And then later it does matter to you. So
yeah, it's
things that I would say that you should try and
it's the
think
fast
about
play
is, well,
and
it does seem to matter. So I would say don't say that.
Well, no. Like the thing I think that bugged me the most is that I felt like I was taking too long of turn because I'm not seeing facial expressions with this. So I'm going off of spell table volume and what people are, voices. And my turns were long because it was just going off. And you could hear voice, like you could just hear, the voice is just like, not like it's I do it too. Like when I'm playing, I'm just like, oh, fuck it. Like, but I always am swearing, I talk shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I kind of pushed myself faster, I was just like, I feel like I'm already annoying people. I want to be done with it. I was just like, fuck it, you win. Like, like instead of actually.
So you're, again, what you're dealing with is feeling bad about like having the game slow down a bit for longer turns, and then not being okay with playing the game out. And so both of them, you're dealing with like
it wasn't that
things that you don't enjoy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And again, this is something that anytime you have something that bothers you or anxiety, or again, anxiety is a different animal as well.
Yeah.
But when there's stuff that bothers you, that's kind of on you. You need to either learn to,
and that's what I'm just trying to figure out is like
the stuff that you don't like. So like I was saying, just play it out and then you won't feel bad about it. But then you're on the other side of feeling bad for having a longer turn.
Right.
So that's something, but you need, like, that's what I'm saying though. Like you either need to be,
I need to be okay with having me and Trombley being buddies with long terms. Like that's what I just got to be.
Choose
fine
a place
with.
that you're more comfortable with. Yeah. Either understand that you don't. Would rather not play it out.
Thanks, therapist Lowery. Like Cole said,
that's where you're at.
I'm more comfortable with being known as the long turn plays. Because the thing is that because I can get done with the game and not be mad at myself that I fast played it to just make it so that I wasn't my normal play. Like I like to think and make sure I got all my T's and everything crossed and all that stuff. And it's only like a day thing, but the thing is, it bugs me. I'm just like, why the fuck did I do that? Why did I step out of what I was doing and just go blah, 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 like it's just fucking. It's like I'm getting close. I'm getting close, and I'm just gonna pre-ejaculate all over the place. Like that's pretty much what happens.
And so, like the one thing that I try and do, because again, I make mistakes constantly, all the time, and you were in sports. And I think this is one of the biggest takeaways is, or when they talk about like quarterbacks throwing an interception, like a pick six, and it's like that quarterback has to come out and forget what he just did, play his normal game and do the best that he can. And then they always fuck up because it's in their head.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not always, offensive linemen have to deal with that all the time. Defensive backs have to deal with that all the time. And it has to be like a short memory. That can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And that from being a football player for so long, and I got beat on the offensive line. You know, I wasn't perfect. No,
Yeah.
none of them are. Or when you committed a penalty and you just got to forget about it too. And but always, always, always when you're in sports, or maybe not soccer, I don't know, but with football,
sports,
you watch
get beat.
video.
You get beat.
You watch the video. The coaches know what you did wrong. They're going to tell you what to do wrong, or what you did wrong, and you try and improve upon it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we don't have coaches. We don't have video. We don't. So that's what's going to bug you. And so normally in this is a game. This is just not as physical, but it's a fucking game.
It
And
depends on
so-
who's playing. You know, Trombley does a couple laps when he's playing.
And so what I try and do is, like, I do understand that it's gonna bug me a little bit, and I try and have that short memory, but also I try and remember it for later when I'm trying to learn my deck or trying to learn how to play the game differently, because that's the interesting thing. You know, like if you're on the offensive line and you're trying to block different defensive ends, that's like playing different players, or, you know, players in this game. Like they all have different tendencies. It's, you know, you want to learn how people are along with the cards, and it's intricate. It's a lot of thinking if those kind of things bug you. Now, if you don't give a fuck, who cares? Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing. Like, if you don't care and you're just looking to have a good time and you're chill about it, like, there are some people that are really uptight about it. Like the guy at the store that's always, Judge wants to get everything right, and you're like, motherfucker. They're saying that same thing to you in their head. They're going, motherfucker doesn't know how to play. They're
Right.
getting annoyed with you, and you're getting annoyed with them. That's just a difference in where you're thinking, right?
Right.
so-
yeah. The typical ones that I come across with that is that person doesn't
They're-
know how to
they're-
play.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It absolutely is annoying for a lot of people, but misplays, slow play, all that shit's annoying to them.
Right. Well, and Trombley said the same thing. He said he gets what I'm saying. The misplays bother the hell out of him, and that's why his turns are so long. And that's what he said. You know, that's what he has actually said recently, is he's trying to make sure that he's doing everything, that he's not doing the misplay. And so that, I think it's funny that you say what you say, because I'm looking at my notes of like why it bothered me and all that. And if I just, you know, it's basically what you're saying there. It's why do I go out of right at the end of the game, I've been taking, you know, I don't take long turns until the end of the game, but I make sure that each of my turns I'm doing, you know, they're a little bit longer, but I'm making sure that I'm doing the optimal thing, or, you know, everything with that. Why at the very end do I feel like, okay, now I have to go quick because I'm trying to finish this off? It's the stupidest thing. Like, and that's the thing, is why go away from what you've been doing the whole time? And I think that's what bugs me. And that's just something that I got to work on. And that's the thing with misplays, is learning from it. That's one of the biggest things I write, is learn from your mistake with it and just move on. Like
because
the wins don't matter. No, I was just gonna say the wins don't matter. You know, like I don't remember how many games I won a year ago. You know, I don't know how many games I won last year. I don't.
True.
I remember the fun games, and that's all that really matters. And we've said that many times when we talk about your play group and all that stuff. And I tell myself in the moment, after, when I'm pissed at myself about it, well, this doesn't even matter. You don't fucking care about the winning. But still, it takes me a day to like just move on from it, because I'm mad at myself for making a stupid mistake. And it's not little ones. It's only when it's those big stupid ones, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So,
And so that's the big things for me, is like, because when you're talking about it, like, I didn't say anything different to you. It was just a different perspective. You know what I mean? And sometimes when there's stuff that is annoying you, again, talk with somebody like we're just doing with each other right now. So
number 2 just said, you won 0 games last year, Adam. 0 games this year too. I keep track. Trombley has the most points.
wins don't matter.
Wins
That's what
don't-
losers say. I play to win. All right. Well,
All
Guess
right.
who's,
All right, Ryan
kill-
Grant. No.
Yeah. Oh, that's mean. All right. Well, we'll have to kill Trombley pretty quick.
All right.
Couldn't be that
I know
hard.
we wanted to keep this a shorter episode because we have a quick turnaround with the episode editing. I don't know. Was there more you wanted to add? This actually, I mean,
I think there was something that Ramsey said that I liked, and it was along a point that I've forgotten, so I apologize.
COVID brain. But yeah, I mean, the thing, I guess the biggest conclusion with it is misplays happen. You're going to do it. It's going to happen. If you don't do it, then build a better deck. You need to have it more complicated. If it's just straightforward, even when you have a straightforward one, you're still going to make mistakes. The game, like you mentioned, is one of the most complicated games that is out there. It is probably the most popular, most complicated game out there. And
I think it's the most complicated game ever created at this point.
In every
history.
set, it keeps getting more complicated because they keep adding more and more things to it. So for you to not make mistakes is impossible. Like you're a machine if you cannot make mistakes.
Judges get it wrong.
Right.
We get it wrong all the time.
That's why
Nobody's perfect.
Yep.
Just like how frustrating is it if like you just misinterpret a card and then the next day you're like, I did this wrong, or once you learn that you're doing it wrong, you're like, I did this wrong. Like,
well, we've had that. We haven't had
all the
that
time.
often, but we had that years ago, especially where it would just be like, actually, like you would text and be like, actually, I think you won that game because we did this card wrong. And then it was like, oh, but then did that change anything? No, there's no mental win. No, but it was good
but
to
that was for sure like not a win for win for me or whoever.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, cool, whatever. But it doesn't change anything. But yeah, it's just you gotta get that quarterback skin where you just move on, like you said. Fucking forget about it. There's a lot of chatter going on over there. Going back to slivers.
Number 2 is saying the mistake is to play. If you never play, you never lose. That's
And then
boy.
Cole
That's
says impossible to misplay slivers.
You can sequence slivers wrong for sure.
All right.
Nothing ever goes wrong if you're not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the boring way to live.
All right, let's move on to this. Let's see if we can pull him up here.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple versus. All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, we are gonna not read the flavor text. I was about to start everything all over again. We have 2 cards that are in the same deck, and you guys have to decide which card is. Let me get the card preview up here. Which card is going in your deck? So this week we are dealing with Baleful Strix and Ice-Fang Coatl. At this point, we will talk about those in a second, but we have some beef from our previous staple versus, which was like 10 days ago, to go over here. I'm just getting everything kind of lined up so you guys can see everything. So we had 10 days ago, we had Monastery Mentor and Sedgemoor Witch.
Okay.
Sweet. Where do you think all of that ended up?
I saw the Twitter poll. I was a little surprised, but it looked like Monastery Mentor won there.
So you're right there.
I'm not super surprised.
Where would you put your vote with Sedgemoor and Monastery?
The way that I play, I would go with the Witch.
Yeah.
Based off of I like a lot more sacrifice shenanigans, I guess. I play a lot more permanence, and so it's definitely a hard one. To me, it should be close to 50-50 because Mentor is any non-creature spell type thing, and Witch has to be an instant or sorcery. That's the part. I can trigger not mentor, monastery mentor. Is it? I don't even remember anymore.
Monastery mentor.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not the meek.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. You
I would
fell
trigger
for it
that
too.
one a lot more, but I couldn't, like, the prowess wouldn't really work for me very well. So like it'd be a 50-50 for me.
Yeah. I think I'd be now, Sedgemoor is out and the sacrifice benefit to it. I like that. And then also has a little bit of protection, right? That was the other part of that
Yeah,
one.
the Lord 3 life.
Yeah. So, but this is how the voting went. You said you saw Twitter. Twitter ended with 60% for Monastery Mentor. YouTube followed a similar track, but YouTube was down on the numbers this week, I think, because it was a vacation or a holiday weekend and a holiday week, whatever. But 62% went for Monastery Mentor as well.
Okay.
And Discord, they actually flipped suit this time. 72% went Monastery Mentor. You still had it.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Woo!
Where's your crown, Larry? Put your crown on, buddy.
Jeez, I got booze there. Like it's I got shit covered it. I never get to play with it.
You played with it last? Yeah, never. Kirsten. You got this is the second week in a row because you had what did you have the week before? Sensei's top against Scroll Rock. It's doing the rock. Okay, so this week we have Baleful Strix, which is a longtime sweetheart of Magic, going against a newer guy from. Was it Modern Horizons 1, Ice-Fang Coatl?
A new guy that's 3 years old. 4?
Yeah.
3.
No, it's not 4. It's 3. They seem very similar, but they are very different. Lowery, why don't you start us off with your little Baleful guy?
Well, that little guy's a honest, good, hardworking bird, owl. And everybody can trust it. Because we all know that Snakes on a Plane was the scariest movie ever made, and so we should not support.
You don't watch horror movies
snakes.
at all, do you?
I saw it.
It's not even a horror movie. It's just...
Well, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson doesn't like him, so I don't like him. I trust him. Right?
That's the thing,
Baleful
though. You're like
Strix
proving my point. Like yours is just
little-
like a little pet bird. Like
the one that can peck out your eyes. All right, blue and a black. It's bird 1/1 flying death touch.
Bird.
When Baleful Strix enters the battlefield, draw a card. It is an artifact creature as well.
ooh, easier to
What's
kill.
Ice-Fang Coatl?
Easier to kill because it's an artifact.
Wow. I mean, you're gonna direct. Like,
Yeah, Cole just said Snakes on a Plane is a comedy. What are you talking about? That's not even.
it wasn't made to be like that, though.
Yes, it was. Get the motherfucking snakes off my motherfucking plane. It was all the lines were voted on by people, like by fans. Of course, it was a comedy.
The original Sharknado.
Yeah, right. So I have Ice-Fang Coatl. It has the best dual colors.
Is your throat okay? It sounds weird when you say it like that.
Coatl.
Yeah.
Simic, so
koala.
it's green and blue. The best two colors in Magic, right? This is a snow creature snake, 1/1 flash flying. Flash.
Uh-huh.
Ah. Yeah. This sucker is
Motherfucker.
make you laugh, make you cough. I gotta so when he enters, you draw a card. So it's just like Baleful. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have the death touch unless you have 3 other snow permanents. So there is a little bit of a downfall.
Yes.
But you're putting this in a snow deck. You're putting this in something but even if you don't, like Baleful just gets out and then you're just like, okay, if you attack me, I'm going to kill it. And then they're like, well, I'm going to kill an artifact and then that kills your creature. Ice-Fang, you can plan this out to be kind of like a death spell, a spot removal, because they're attacking and you play it and block and kill as long as you have the 3, obviously. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is there's no bird tribal. I mean,
absolutely is.
Barely. There's barely. I went on the
Is there Snake Tribal?
Yes, there is.
Who's the commander? Did you look it up?
Yes, I did. But the biggest one was Jorn because he's using the snow stuff. So that's what the biggest thing was Jorn. But there's definitely a lot of Snake Tribal lords.
So it's in Snow Tribal. Good job.
No, it's in Snake Tribal. I can pull it up here and
Would
show
you rather have it in Snow Tribal or Artifact Tribal? Well, I
Wait,
mean,
it's not an artifact. So why would I have it?
Well,
in an
no,
artifact
but Baleful,
tribal?
it's a comparison segment, and
no,
Baleful Strix is an
we're
artifact.
We're playing 3 colors at this point. So we're gonna play green, blue, and black. We're not in artifact colors. No,
we can be. What do you mean? Artifacts are like mostly colorless. Why is this a
Tyson
problem?
chimed in with a poop. I haven't seen Tyson on here, and he chimes in with a poop.
I don't know. It must be, it's, 4th of July. He just heard fireworks and shit himself. I'm guessing.
People that pick Strix they're living in the past, man. You got to get over the past. Get some new stuff. Play the good colors, green and blue, man. And so if we're playing snow, here's the thing: this deck in particular has to have snow because this is fitting in with our theme. Artifacts don't matter. Like I have Baleful Strix in non-artifact decks. It's not strictly for artifact. No, it's not better. In this deck, we were talking about a snow deck because you have to have Ice-Fang.
Yeah, because it's not as good.
What? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this deck, you son of a bitch. Mine is a potential kill spell. Yours is just, it's a bird. It's an owl. It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's an amazing wall.
It's an amazing.
And there's tons of synergies and artifacts, way more supported than snow.
The other thing is, have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? Is there
of artifact synergy and a green, black, blue deck? And then I just
there are shows about my card.
How many basic snow lands do you have? You have
a lot of them. Yeah. What are you talking about? I saw. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Not everybody wants to just put.
They keep printing them, buddy.
Put snow lands in.
Where's Jorn from? Jorn's from a snow
that
set.
Shit's boring. Like I'm gonna run out.
The other thing is have you ever heard of Owl Kai? I've heard of Cobra Kai, but I haven't heard of Owl Kai. There's no fucking. Mine's badass. Yours is just like a bird that's like a little pet. Like. What? Like, there's no hawks, like birds. What? That isn't anything. I got Cobra Kai, bitch.
What?
I was supposed to get. I was supposed to get the sounder this week.
I
was supposed to get the sounder this week.
After birds.
I'm not. I'm supposed to get the soundbite from
you.
You. It says I'm not talking to you anymore because you're not making any sense from last week. But I didn't get it because that was when I did the girls argument and women. But obviously our listeners don't care about women and their rights, so they voted for you.
It's just solid. It's always going to trigger. It's Baleful Strix is a prettier looking card, especially there's a couple different versions, and so for art,
we're doing art.
Better to look at.
No, mine's
Ice-Fang Coatl is going to scare
Coatl,
people, and you don't want to. Coatl.
I know you.
Sounds like it's from Australia.
Coatl. It's a Coatl.
Yeah,
it's like a koali, but a koali, not a koala.
It's just because it's an artifact does not mean that you would be targeting this. It's
easy removal
card because it's going to stop a lot of stuff, but nobody wants to waste stuff on it. It is a perfect balance of.
But it's not a surprise kill. Like the thing is Ice-Fang. Ice-Fang can be a kill card where you're like you leave yourself open on purpose. And they come in at you and you go, well, actually, I will tap to draw a card and also kill your thing. It's flying.
Yeah,
like obviously Baleful. Baleful, it just hinders them from attacking you. It hinders them. That's all it does.
How about this? This is in my scenario, personally, if I was doing what you were doing, somebody would cast a red counterspell on this creature. And it would be ineffective. I would never even get
why would they do it for Baleful?
What? Because it's not a surprise. I'd be able to cast it. And they're going,
but
you draw
they
a card and
your
get a blocker. That's fine.
No,
but and then they can attack.
No,
with
no, because the surprise stuff. If you're thinking about, well, I guess you're going to do that one. You're just doing straight up red counter.
So I'm just saying, watch out for red counter spells. The fuck can get that Coatl. Baleful Strix will be able to get played. You'll stop some
Yeah, 'cause
big attackers,
they
but
won't-
they'll still probably send some smaller ones your way. And
Why
then
would
you'll be
they?
able
Why
to,
would they
like,
block? Why would they do that with yours? Like, I mean, mine would be.
They wouldn't be sending a huge creature at
But
me
in your
because I have
in your
Baleful
dream
Strix.
scenario, then it isn't. It doesn't have death touch. It's just a blocker. That's my add-on to your dream scenario. Then we're making it so just
Yours
I'm
wouldn't
blocking.
have death touch.
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
bad.
in that
It's a bad
scenario,
card.
yeah. So then they let me do it and now not counter it. But in the other scenario,
It's just a chump block that draws you a card. That's awful. Why would you play that card?
I play it
Your
to
card's
kill
not
your
good
stuff.
without death touch.
Yeah, but the thing is it's tricky death touch. You don't see it coming, and then I kill
tricky.
your creature.
Are you gonna surprise in a snowland
Yes.
too?
No, three.
It
That's
doesn't
easy.
have death touch. You want to
Yeah.
attack me? Fetch land, basic land, got your shit. Yeah.
Hey, you know what
Is that what's going on?
what you need to just build a better deck. That's all it is. Oh damn it! I am not even on the right.
I would just say build a better deck.
I hit two buttons at once. Build a better deck.
I don't know which one you wanted.
We're playing snow, buddy. We're playing snow. The thing is you're gonna get Baleful picked because everybody knows Baleful, and I don't think enough people know Ice-Fang
What do you mean?
or they play enough snow that they
Snow's
know
very
Ice-Fang.
popular.
It is, but it
Stop
isn't.
trying to play the pity card.
I'm just saying.
Your card is well known. Did you look up the
Yes, I did.
H rec numbers?
Why do you think I haven't brought up the numbers yet?
Oh, because it's
That would
Because
be the
Strix is just
first
a better
thing that
card.
comes in if the numbers were in my favor. When they are not in my favor, I will not bring those up unless you ask.
interesting. What are they?
Well, Baleful's been around for a very long time. And
True.
for that long of a time, how many decks do you think it's in?
I'm gonna put it at like 50,000.
You're pretty close. 46,000 EDH rec
Not
decks.
too bad.
It's not 50. See, you're wrong because it
God
should.
damn it, Cole. Understand the point of the conversation. Guys, why not both?
Why
cards?
not both
Yeah,
cards?
yeah, I know. That's the point.
And then Ice-Fangs, and it's been out for a couple years, but it's
Gotta
snow. It's
Like 15 to 25,000.
why'd you overguess? It's a lot lower than I thought it would be.
Really?
This barely makes it into Stump the Smith Savant. Hey guys, if you wanted to do a Stump the Smith Savant, you could do this one. Lowery won't get the card because he doesn't know cards. It's in 5,000 EDH rec decks. Yeah, I was pretty surprised. It snows harder. People don't know how to use snow. People are,
They don't know how to put in basic lands.
in
That's all you
forma.
need, is just some basic lands.
Now. I lick you boom boom now. Isn't that snow? Is that snow does lick you boom
no, I
boom
don't-
now?
I don't
I think it
know.
is. I think it is.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm super surprised by what you just said.
That it's in 5,000. I know. I thought it would be higher.
Yeah, that's a much worse card than I thought. Okay.
Oh. Well, to go back on what you said, do you want to play against? Do you want to have a card in your deck that's scary that'll scare other players like Lowery, or do you want a bird that Lowery would just like? Oh, it's so cute. It's a bird. It's cute. It doesn't scare me. I don't know why I changed my voice like that, but that's what it did
Because
there.
to represent that it's not you. It's very good acting technique.
Thank you. I like sober Lowery, but I don't like it when you're doing the arguing because I just feel like I've had whiskey and you haven't. So,
But you should. Renshai has a good one there. Do you want to do it?
do you want to build a snowman? Do
You
you
gotta
want
sing
to
it.
build a snowman? All right.
Have a snake crawl up its nose.
All right.
So
You
bad.
guys
Don't play
can
it.
vote for these. You have a long time to vote for this because reminder, we do not have an episode next week. We will have a double in the following week because I will be out of town. But you guys can vote for this. You can vote for this on Twitter. You can vote for this on YouTube. And if you're part of the Discord, you can vote there as well. We'll announce the winners not next Monday, the Monday after that. So thank you guys again for joining us. We will catch you guys not next week, but the following week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
I love boobs, I'm talking tatas. I love boobs, I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs, thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
You can still see me. I know
Yeah, you
that's
can.
That's all right.